Hey, what's going on? It's Stokely from Sauce on Dulé. Well, finally, I think this is a topic I probably spoke of before, but why not revisit it as it's something that a lot of people experience, and it's something that just popped up in conversation I was having with my coworker just now. Now, he had what I probably believe is bariatric surgery, and he probably lost, I don't know, 150 pounds, maybe. Probably lost 150 pounds. He probably weighs the same amount as I do right now, but he was very big for a lot of years. But after he lost weight, he developed pain in his knees. Right? So I saw him today going down the stairs pretty sprightly. I said, "Hey man, you're moving sprightly. Your knees better now?" He said, "Well, yeah, the sciatica is better now." I said, "Oh, sciatica." So he said, "Oh well, yeah, I had sciatica, and I immediately just over, just interrupted him saying whatever he was saying. And I said, "You got to cut out the sugar." He said, "Yeah, it was the sugar, and my sugar was high." And he said he went to get treatment for his knees, and they told him it's not his knees, it's a nerve. So I told him, "Yeah, man, it's in your back. You should get an inversion table." But I shared with him that I had sciatica pain going down my butt, and cutting out the sugar really helped me. But then he said he had it, yeah, going down his butt, but it went all the way down to his knees, to the point where he couldn't move his knee. So I said to him, "Yeah, man, it's not the knee, it's the spine." But the doctors had already told him that, so he already knew that. So look at that, huh? Sometimes you think you're having a pain in some part of your body, but it's actually the problem is located somewhere else, and it's not even. It's two problems. It's a mechanical issue regarding your nerve getting pinched, but it's due to inflammation from all of the sugar, right? So that's why high fructose and stuff like that. And I used to see him pick up sodas sometimes, and I was like, well, that's probably not the best thing, but I do myself indulge in a soda sometimes when I'm feeling like I want to reward myself, which is really punishing myself. But I feel guilty at the same time, so I immediately drink a lot of water. Um, so anyhow, that's sciatica. So if you're having pain, you're having pain in your lower back, or you're having pain going down, shooting down your legs. Um, you might want to look at your circulation. You also might look at trying to stick to a more anti-inflammatory diet, and drinking things like garlic, ginger, will help with that. Eliminating simple carbohydrates, or reducing the number of simple carbohydrates, and changing to brown stuff like brown rice and whole wheat flour, and change it to whole wheat stuff. That can help you. Now, when you deal with whole wheat, then you introduce yourself to possibly getting exposed to gluten. Not everybody has an issue with gluten, but if you know, or you see that you're responding negatively to things like wheat and flour, then you may have a gluten intolerance, so you have an issue with gluten. But simple carbohydrates and the simple sugars, I don't even use honey in my tea anymore. I don't even use Splenda, and definitely, we already know that the fake sugars like um, aspartame, sucralose, those things are carcinogens, and they're also neurotoxins. But overall, sugar creates brain fog. And so sugars, these are things that taste delicious, wonderful. They're full of calories, but it's really empty calories. And not only are they empty calories, they result in inflammation. They produce mucus, and they produce inflammation in your joints and all of that. So you got to watch out for that. Um, so that's what that is. So that inspired this conversation, and thankfully that did inspire this conversation, because most of my conversations have not been health related, but this one I hope you will help you. Like I said, cut out the candies. Don't add sugar to your stuff. Like not even your tea, not even your coffee. I mean, I do drink lattes sometimes, but that'll probably be the only sugary thing I have for the whole day. Um, I do have cake sometimes, but I typically have it with some tea or some almond milk or something to dilute the sugar. Don't just just drink a crazy sugary drink. You know, even Snapple has a Snapple Natural that doesn't have any artificial sweeteners in it. You know, the artificial sweeteners are typically many times more potent and powerful than a natural cane sugar or brown sugar or pear juice sweetener. You know, sometimes they use pear juice to sweeten things. That's not so bad. Some people may say that fruits um, are problematic. I don't agree with that. It's based on the glycemic index, and they have another one called the glycemic. I forgot what it's called. Glycemic load. It might be glycemic load. I don't know what they call it, but it's some new word they came up with. But glycemic index is the word that I like to use, and I don't really know the numerical value of the glycemic indexes, but it's basically how fast um, carbohydrates and food breaks down into sugar, how available the sugar is to your body, you know. Um, so yeah, we don't want to stress out our pancreas. We don't want to do all of that. But that gentleman, he's doing pretty good. He lost a lot of weight. Surprisingly, it ended up, I guess, causing him to lose some of the lubrication and the fat in his spine. I'm very skinny myself compared to most people. I'm not overweight, and I'm just on the borderline of underweight. And now that he's lost so much weight, he's basically as the same as I am right now regarding weight. He's relatively slim, you know, and as a result, it seems we don't have enough cushion in our spine or something. This is just speculation now. It seems like we don't have enough cushion in our spine to cushion our nerves that deal with the lower extremities when it comes to our gluteus maximus and the thighs and and further down. So yeah, it's good to see him doing better, feeling better now. So that's all I really got to say about that. Make sure you lower your sugar content. You know what I mean? Get enough sleep, get enough rest, minimize stress. I just had a conversation with someone else today where someone who is younger than I am. I mean, there's a lot of. I'm getting old, so everybody's younger than me now. But someone younger than I am had a stroke. I mean, people are having strokes left and right, but it seems to have been due to stress. Um, so stress is definitely a dangerous thing. So you got to learn how to manage it, and unfortunately, it requires you to be somewhat callous in your own self-preservation and selfish in your own self-preservation. You can't allow your I don't know, your ego, because ultimately it's your ego that makes you think that you need to do everything and be everything, run you to a point where you're exhausted and stressed. Yes, we need a little struggle. Yes, we need struggle. We need the struggle to give us purpose and give us strength. We need struggle. But you also have to manage that struggle appropriately in a way that you don't just totally destroy yourself. You know what I mean? You don't want to destroy yourself. All right. So yeah, you can struggle, but don't destroy yourself. Attack the problem and address it as it is, and just try to move on from it. Attack it, do what you can, move on. Like they say, fail fast, or do your best and let God do the rest. They say, so do what you can do. You don't destroy yourself, because then without life you don't have a ticket, as the guy says. So anyhow, thanks for listening.